Do you think strokes of fate can make you a better person? You might struggle to answer this question because you see unfortunate incidents or unfavorable circumstances as obstacles rather than redirections. What are the odds that life beats you down severely and you can still become outstanding in whatever you want to do? Unlikely? Well, Dwayne Johnson, popularly known as The Rock, has proven that bad luck can be a stepping stone to some of the most fulfilling achievements. The 50-year-old successful wrestler and multiple award-winning actor was named by Forbes in 2020 as the highest-paying actor. He currently runs his own company, $7 Production, a production company that creates original releases for film, television, digital network, and emerging technologies, hence the interesting name of his company. It reminds him of how much he's achieved from almost nothing. So how did Dwayne do it? How did he become greater despite his bad luck? Or maybe even because of it? How can you develop that mindset? Stay tuned to learn about Dwayne Johnson, how bad luck can make you a better version of yourself. Start with flipping the switch. Did you know that the company's name $7 evokes the hardest time of Dwayne's life? Yep, not many people know this, but before Dwayne dreamed of becoming a wrestler and a savvy businessman, his greatest desire was to be one of the most successful footballers in the world. But despite being skilled enough to play on his college team and joining the Calgary Stampeders of the Canadian Football League, his football career came to a screeching halt when he was cut from the team in the first session. At this point, he had no choice but to look back at his family history and embrace a sport that was championed by his father and maternal grandfather. And with just $7 left in his pocket, Dwayne quit football to become one of the most successful wrestlers of all time. He simply flipped the switch and turned his bad luck around. Today, he's affecting the lives of so many people despite starting out broke. Most people would have given up at this point, and so did Dwayne at first. He had to give up his football career, but his spirit was unbroken and he was still determined to become a success. So how did he do it? What could his mindset have looked like at the time? The key to turning around your fate in your favor is to change the frame. Some people see the ending of something as a punishment. Some people see it as an opportunity. If you accept strokes of fate as a redirection of a higher force, you keep a positive attitude in whatever you do next, and chances are higher that you succeed in your next project. Dwayne was faced with a lot of rejection. He could have looked to the sky and wondered why his life was filled with so much hardship, but he understood that dwelling on that would be of little help to him. Instead, he repositioned his mind and changed the frame. He left football behind and faced wrestling squarely on. If you keep a positive mindset, bad luck can motivate you. Bad luck is the most demotivating thing on earth because it sometimes feels out of your control and that the universe is simply against you. Regardless, a powerful means of turning it around is allowing it to motivate you. Dwayne's chances of becoming WWE's most successful wrestler were non-existing. Although his father, Rocky Johnson, was a wrestler between the 60s and 90s with minimal success, he discouraged Dwayne from becoming a wrestler with the belief that Dwayne wouldn't make it. That would have been enough to end Dwayne's dream of becoming a wrestler, but instead, he was motivated by his father. He went on to train to become a wrestler, finally landing in WWE, and today, he's one of the most successful wrestlers, being a 10-time world champion, including a 2-time Intercontinental Champion, the 2000 Royal Rumble winner, a 5-time Tag Team Champion, and WWE's 6th Triple Crown Champion. However, before he hit it big in wrestling, he went through a lot of identity crises that worked heavily against him. Which brings us to the next point. Create your own way. You already know that Dwayne's father was a wrestler, but you probably didn't know that his maternal grandfather, Peter Mavia, was one as well, making Dwayne a third-generation wrestler. He had an existing legacy that should have worked in his favor, but the reverse was the case. According to him, the organizer of WWE forced him to bear a name coined from his father and grandfather, which he hated. Bearing the name Rocky Mavia made it difficult to be himself and connect with the WWE audience. Dwayne recounts being booed at WrestleMania 13, with the audience shouting in unison, "Rocky sucks."
Rocky sucks! Rocky sucks! Rocky sucks!
This was a draining period for him, but he wasn't ready to let it weigh him down. Instead, he convinced one of the top bosses at WWE to let him be himself for at least a day. Staying true to yourself will continue to be one of the most potent ways to override bad luck. You never know until you try if your own ideas, your own style, and being your authentic self in whatever you want to achieve is even a better option than all that's been there before. So ask yourself, is this really the way I would do it? Or am I just doing as I'm told? See how it brings about positive changes to your situation. Another thing Dwayne has always done to be a better person is to take action. Sadly, this is where a lot of people miss it. They have a lot of ideas of how to overcome their bad luck, but they actually never do anything. They never put their foot through the door. Instead, they allow the stress of their current challenge to keep them on the ground. Dwayne recounts how his mom was facing the final eviction notice after she couldn't pay over $100 in week rent. Dwayne had to take a chance or remain poor forever. He asked himself what he could do to never let that happen again. Hence, his journey into the world of wrestling began, and he's reaping the benefit. No one is throwing this champ out on the street anytime soon. His decision to take action instead of wallowing in his situation has paid off. So, whatever your struggle may be, list down the possible ways to get out of it and work towards it. Dwayne worked for years before he became successful, so be ready to do the same. Just be sure you're actually doing something to genuinely help yourself out. Once you've taken action, move forward positively. Surrounding your mindset with positive energy is very important if you must channel your bad luck into becoming better. You have to let go of your past mistakes or anything from the past that you feel holds you back. Dwayne's relationship with his father was what he referred to as a complicated one. According to him, his father only showed him tough love and was not affectionate towards him in the way that would have been appreciated. He also shared that his father only began to warm up to him when he became successful in a field that he had struggled in. His relationship with his father could have affected his mindset in a bad way, but Dwayne didn't let it. Instead, he moved forward positively and encouraged himself to have a better relationship with his daughter and family, showing that he's able to support them and give them all the love they deserve. Another important point in becoming better is, don't be afraid to try out new things. Despite starting out as a wrestler, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson isn't just a loving husband and doting father. He's a business owner, a successful actor, has featured on covers of multiple magazines, he's a humanitarian, and he's simply one of the most famous men on earth, thanks to his ability to reinvent himself. Dwayne was not afraid to step into new waters. His first major film role was the 2000 movie The Scorpion King, a role that came a few months after he successfully hosted Saturday Night Live in 2000. All of these were a far cry from his initial career. But from then on, he knew he wanted to do something other than wrestling. In an interview, he said, "I wanted to have a real, long-lasting career that had weight and had value. And I wanted to become a real box office presence." And that's where he is today. Of course, it's great that you've gotten one or two things together, but that doesn't mean you should remain in one position forever. Stop worrying about bad luck, step out of your box, and try new things. In addition to that, always keep your expectations high. Despite his circumstances, Dwayne kept high expectations of himself, and the world eventually began to pay attention. Even if the chances of you achieving a particular thing are low, you should still work on it like it's the most valuable thing the world has come to witness. Keep your hopes up when you're presenting that project. Set goals for each stage of your life and work towards achieving them. This will prevent you getting stuck less productively. Don't just do things randomly. Have an order. And also, make yourself available to experience new things that you would feel would be necessary for making you a better person. And finally, be grateful. There's a possibility that you believe you're plagued with bad luck because you're not acknowledging the good things that happen around you. Dwayne has also shared that despite his challenges growing up, he's always been grateful to have his parents around him. His father was struggling financially, and his mother was battling depression, but regardless, he was always able to look beyond their issues and appreciate their presence. A mindset of gratitude is definitely one you should have if you intend to live above your bad luck. See the good in everything. For instance, getting in an accident and needing to settle hospital bills can be daunting. But on the brighter side, you survive, and you get to spend another day with your loved ones. Being grateful also has a way of making you look lucky and genuinely happy. One thing is certain. The only person who can override bad luck in your life is you. So pick yourself up and shake off that feeling of helplessness. And with some of these tips and Dwayne's experience, you're on your way to becoming a better person. How helpful did you find this? Tell us in the comment section down below, and if you're enjoying this video, give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.